The Italian private equity market is relatively underpenetrated compared to other European countries and offers significant opportunities for proprietary transactions. Italy is the second largest manufacturing economy in Europe, the second largest exporter of industrial goods in Europe, and the eighth largest economy in the world. Around 65% of over 6,000 Italian medium-sized companies are family-owned and may need to manage a generational turnover in the near future. Specifically, in the landscape of Italian companies, there are many excellences, and this is confirmed by the 11th edition of the PMI Observatory by the strategic and financial consulting firm Global Strategy. In fact, there are 722 excellent companies that characterize the production fabric of the entire country, from north to south. Over the past 11 years, the study aimed at analyzing and monitoring the landscape of excellent mid-cap companies has identified about 2,800 excellent companies. During the period between 2010 and 2019, Italian SMEs experienced a 6.5% increase in productivity, while large companies saw a decrease of almost 5%. Despite being smaller in size, SMEs showed similar profitability and investment rates to large companies and significantly higher rates than micro enterprises. In comparison to other major euro area countries, Italian SMEs exhibit higher productivity than German and Spanish companies of similar size and only slightly lower productivity than French companies. The sectors with the greatest improvements in productivities are those with strong competitive pressure. For instance, in the manufacturing sector, reallocation of production factors towards more efficient companies capable of keeping pace with global demand facilitated the increase in productivity. In the years that followed the global financial crisis, the share of SME exports in the total has increased by 3 percentage points. In 2019, SME exports accounted for 48% of total exports, which is significantly higher than the proportion for similarly sized companies in France and Germany, where it is 20%, with large companies accounting for a greater share of exports, as well as Spain, where it is 33%, in line with the value-added share. While Italy boasts excellent businesses throughout the country, there is significant disparity in their distribution. The northern regions in particular are home to a majority of successful small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, with the Northwest leading the way at 37.1%, followed closely by the Northeast at 34.9%. The central regions account for 16.9% of the country's excellence, while the South and Islands lag behind with just 11.1%. When it comes to specific sectors, manufacturing is the standout performer, with traditional industry continuing to excel. In particular, the mechanics sector maintains its position as the top performer. Wholesale trade is the second largest sector in terms of number of excellent businesses. In recent years, companies have shown a greater inclination towards innovation. The top performers reinvest 5% of their revenue into R&D, and over 7% are actively involved in corporate venture capital. Additionally, there is a greater openness towards extraordinary operations. 42% have made acquisitions and/or joint ventures in the past 3 years, compared to 34% in past editions, and 63% plan to do so in the next 3 years. 57% are willing to open up their capital to achieve internationalization and commercial expansion objectives. Positive trends are also evident in terms of investments and internationalization among Italian companies. In fact, more than 90% of the top performing companies in Italy have increased their investments in commercial development, human resources, and reducing their environmental impact over the past 3 years. Furthermore, 80% of them plan to further increase their investments in these areas over the next 3 years. In terms of internationalization, these companies have been successful in exporting their products, with exports accounting for over 40% of their turnover. Looking forward, they expect this percentage to increase to 50% in the next 3 years, even though the majority of their production still takes place in Italy. Turning to the ESG theme, it is worth noting that all of the top performing Italian companies and their leaders are fully aware of ESG issues. Moreover, 70% of them have implemented policies in this area, although these are often partial and focus mainly on environmental issues without an overall and well-defined strategy. It is also worth mentioning that out of the 722 best companies in Italy, 73 have been recognized and awarded for their excellent sustainability practices. In the future context, the best Italian SMEs are able to express their attitude to innovate and adapt to changing contexts, and have the ability to withstand unexpected tensions of epic proportions. The conflict in Ukraine, for example, has demonstrated how, in a globalized world, there are multiple factors capable of putting production sectors under pressure, and how the widespread use of new technologies and digital tools is crucial to consolidate development and resilience, even in the most traditional sectors. In this context of development, T-Hub Capital positions itself as the appropriate partner for Italian entrepreneurs facing business challenges such as generational succession, strategic repositioning, and international expansion.